All right, welcome to another deep dive, everybody.
Yeah, excited for this one.
This time, we're heading to Tokyo.
Tokyo, yeah.
Which is somewhere I've always wanted to go.
It's a fascinating city.
Yeah, and I think it can be.
A little overwhelming if you've never been.
Yeah, definitely a lot to take in. So much to see and do and eat.
Yep. Off of that, yeah.
So yeah, let's try to make sense of it all for people.
Yeah.
What do we have to work with here?
Well, we've got some really interesting stuff, actually.
Okay.
We have, like, information on these islands
Okay.
that are part of Tokyo. It's not just the mainland.
Oh, interesting.
There's this whole island chain.
Wow.
And there's a couple of really cool guidebooks about, like, locavore dining.
Okay.
You know, very focused on, like, local ingredients.
Oh, that's awesome.
And some of the unique things you can find on these islands.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then we've got some more general stuff, too, about, like, just customs and etiquette and things like that for Tokyo in general.
Awesome. Well, how about we try to put together, like, a sample itinerary?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, for someone who's never been before.
Okay.
And kind of like a travel guide style deep dive, you know?
Right.
Really get into it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you arrive in Tokyo, you've never been before. What's like day one?
Well, I think day one, you got to hit Shinjuku.
Shinjuku, okay.
Yeah, it's just such a classic Tokyo experience.
Okay.
You know, you've got all the neon lights and the crowds and everything.
Yeah, just that image of Tokyo, right.
Exactly. But actually, I think a cool thing to do on your first day is to go to Shinjuku Gyamen National Garden.
Okay.
Which is this beautiful, like, traditional Japanese garden.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like a little oasis of calm right in the middle of all that craziness.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you like a taste of that contrast
that
you see so much in Tokyo between like the ultra-modern and like the traditional.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then to really get your bearings, head up to the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building.
Okay.
Where they have these free observation decks.
Free. Okay, love that.
Yeah, free is always good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get these panoramic views of the entire city.
Wow.
So you can really kind of understand the layout, see where everything is.
Awesome.
And then for dinner on your first night, you got to have ramen.
Ramen, okay.
Yeah, it's just a must try.
I mean, it's so iconic, right?
Yeah, and there's so many different kinds.
Okay.
Like you've got tonkotsu, which is the pork bone broth.
Yeah.
It's like super rich and creamy.
Yeah.
You've got shoyu, which is soy sauce based, a little lighter.
Okay.
Miso ramen. There's just endless variations.
Oh, so you could really...
You could have ramen every day and have a totally different experience.
Wow. Ramen tour.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome. Okay, so that's day one.
Yeah.
Day two.
Day two, let's go cultural.
Okay, cultural day.
Yeah, got to visit Sensoji Temple in Asakusa.
Okay.
Which is like one of the oldest and most famous temples in Tokyo. It's a Buddhist temple, and it's beautiful. It's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
And leading up to the temple is this street called Nakamizidori.
Okay.
Which is just lined with all these little shops and stalls selling like souvenirs and street food.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so you can grab some yakitori skewers.
Yeah.
Or some onigiri rice balls. Those are always good.
Onigiri, okay.
Yeah, just like little snacks as you're walking around.
I love that.
Yeah, and then in the afternoon, you could take a Sumida River cruise.
Oh.
Which gives you a really cool view of the city from the water.
Oh, that's awesome. Different perspective.
Yeah, and it's very relaxing.
Yeah.
Just kind of cruise along.
And then for dinner on day two?
How about tempura?
Tempura, okay.
Yeah, those lightly battered deep-fried seafood and vegetables.
Yeah.
So crispy and delicious.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've done like traditional Tokyo. Now it's time for...
modern Tokyo.
Yeah. Day three, what do we got?
Day three, we're hitting Shibuya.
Shibuya, okay.
You got to see Shibuya Crossing.
Oh, the famous Shibuya Crossing.
Scramble Crossing, yeah.
Yeah, with like all the people.
It's just crazy.
A huge mass of humanity.
Yeah, you just get swept along with the crowd.
Wow.
And then from there, you can head to Harajuku, which is like the center of youth culture and fashion.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the Takeshita Street, which is just this narrow little street packed with all these crazy shops.
No, fun.
Like just out there, fashion and accessories and all kinds of stuff.
Awesome.
And then very close to that is Meiji Jingu Shrine.
Okay.
Which is this really peaceful Shinto shrine.
Oh, wow.
Dedicated to Emperor Meiji.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's another example of that contrast.
Right.
You know, you go from this like super high energy shopping street to this very serene, quiet shrine.
Wow, that's such a good tip. I love that.
Yeah.
And for dinner on day three?
How about okonomiyaki?
Okonomiyaki. Okay.
Yeah, which is like a savory pancake. Kind of like a mix between a pancake and a pizza. You get all kinds of toppings on it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, very customizable.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
All right, so we're 3 days in.
3 days in. What's next?
And I feel like this is where those islands come in.
Oh, yeah, the islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we only have 8 days total. So you can't really do a whole island hopping trip.
Yeah, maybe save that for another time.
Yeah, definitely.
But, we've got this information.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a shame not to touch on it.
Yeah, I agree.
So for people who are interested, give us the rundown of these islands.
Okay, so the islands that are part of Tokyo are called the Izu Islands and the Ogasawara Islands.
Okay.
The Izu Islands are closer to the mainland.
Okay.
And they're easier to get to.
Okay.
So there's Oshima, which is the largest island.
Okay.
And it's got this volcano, Mount Mahara.
Cool.
And it's actually still active.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're known for their camellia oil.
Oh, interesting.
Which is made from the seeds of camellia flowers. Then there's Nejima, which is known for its glass art and surfing.
Okay.
Kozushima, which is known for its beautiful, clear waters.
Wow.
Miyakojima, which is another volcanic island, good for bird watching.
Okay.
Hachijojima, which is kind of subtropical. They've got hot springs there.
Wow, sounds very diverse.
Yeah, very diverse.
That's amazing.
And then the Ogasawara Islands are way further south.
Okay.
Like 1,000 kilometers south of Tokyo.
Wow.
So they're a lot harder to get to.
Yeah.
You have to take a 24-hour ferry ride.
Wow. Quite the journey.
Yeah. But they're known for their unique nature.
Oh,
they've got a lot of endemic species, plants and animals that you can't find anywhere else.
Wow. So it's like a totally...
Yeah, it's like a totally different world.
So cool.
Yeah, and the food is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the food.
Yeah, so one thing that really stands out in these guidebooks is how much they focus on local ingredients.
Yeah, that locavore dining.
Yeah, locavore dining.
Yeah.
So, they're catching the fish right there in the waters around the islands.
Wow, that's awesome.
They're growing their own produce.
That's so...
So it's like super fresh and seasonal.
Amazing.
And they have some really unique dishes.
Okay, give us some examples.
Okay, so on Oshima, they have this thing called beko sushi.
Beko sushi.
Which is like marinated fish.
Okay.
In this spicy chili soy sauce.
Wow.
And then they also have bekadon, which is like a rice bowl.
Okay.
With the same marinated fish.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's shimadon, which is just a general term for a local fish rice bowl.
Okay.
So whatever they caught that day, they put it on top of rice.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then there's this thing called a seafood wapameshi set meal.
Okay.
Which is like a steamed seafood and vegetable dish.
Okay.
That they cook in these wooden containers.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah. And then one ingredient that you see a lot in the Izu Islands is ashitaba.
Ashitaba, okay.
Which is this leafy green vegetable that they say has all these health benefits.
Oh, wow.
And they use it in everything. They make ashitaba tempura, they put it in noodles.
Okay.
They even make ashitaba ice cream.
Oh, wow. Ashitaba ice cream.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then there's this other thing called kusaya.
Kusaya, okay.
Which is like a fermented fish.
Okay.
That's known for being very pungent.
Pungent, okay, so stinky.
Yeah, kind of stinky.
Okay.
Some people say it smells like blue cheese. Some people say it smells like feet.
Okay, so it's one of those things you gotta
try it.
Yeah, you gotta try it and see what you think.
Yeah, see if you like it.
All right.
And then of course they have ramen on the islands too.
Okay, island ramen.
Yeah, they have a special kind on Oshima.
Okay.
That has island lever seaweed in it.
Okay, so that's
It's like a local twist on ramen.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then on Hachijojima, they have this thing called shimazushi, which is like a type of sushi that uses mustard instead of wasabi.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then for dessert, they have island ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Which comes in all these crazy flavors.
Okay, like what?
Like passion fruit, ashitaba, banana, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's all made with local fruits and ingredients.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so the food scene on these islands is really unique.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So we're obviously not going to go to the islands on this trip, but what do we do for day 4?
Well, I think a classic day trip from Tokyo is to go to Hakkai.
Hakkai.
Which is like a mountain resort town.
Okay.
And it's famous for its views of Mount Fuji.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so you can take a boat ride on Lake Ashi.
Yeah.
And see Mount Fuji reflected in the water.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's stunning.
And then for dinner on day 4.
How about tonkatsu?
Tonkatsu, okay.
Yeah, which is like a breaded pork cutlet.
Yeah.
That they deep fry.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's very crispy and juicy.
Love it. All right, so we're halfway through our trip.
Halfway there.
Day 5, what are we doing?
Day 5, let's have a food day.
Okay, a full-on food day.
Yeah, like we're just going to eat our way through Tokyo.
Amazing. I'm in.
Yeah. So in the morning, we're going to Tsukiji Outer Market.
Tsukiji Market, okay.
Yeah, which is like this huge seafood market.
Okay.
It's not the inner market where they do the tuna auctions anymore.
Right.
It's moved.
Yeah.
But the outer market is still there.
Okay.
And it's just packed with all these stalls and restaurants.
Oh, fun.
Selling like fresh seafood, sushi, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you can just like wander around and...
Yeah, just wander around, try different things.
Yeah, snack all day.
Yeah, and then in the evening,
yeah,
let's go to Shinjuku Golden Gai.
Okay.
Which is like this little area with all these tiny bars and restaurants.
Okay.
And it's a really cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like very old school Tokyo.
Okay.
And a lot of the places specialize in yakitori.
Yakitori, okay.
Yeah, so we can have like a yakitori feast.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so day 5 is food day.
Food day.
We're going to need a rest after that.
Definitely.
Day 6, what do we got?
Day 6, relaxation.
Relaxation, okay.
Yeah. Let's visit a Japanese garden.
Okay, yeah.
Like, chill out, enjoy the peace and quiet.
Yeah, get away from the crowds for a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can go to a museum or an art gallery.
Okay.
Depending on what you're interested in.
Yeah, so much to choose from.
Yeah, there's a ton of museums in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then for dinner, we can have something light.
Okay.
Like soba or udon noodles.
Okay.
Which are like buckwheat noodles or thick wheat noodles.
Yeah.
And you can have them hot or cold.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, very versatile.
So we relax. Now it's time to...
Yep.
Yeah. Day 7, shopping.
Day 7, shopping for souvenirs.
Okay, where are we going?
Well, we could go to Ginza.
Ginza.
Which is like the high-end shopping district.
Yeah, all the fancy brands.
Yeah, all the luxury stores.
Yeah.
Or we could go to Shibuya or Harajuku.
Yeah.
Which have more, like, unique and quirky shops.
Okay, so something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about souvenirs? What should people be looking for?
Well, one thing I thought was really interesting in our information was these E-Mark certified foods.
Okay. What are those?
So these are like food products that are made with ingredients sourced from Tokyo.
Okay.
Or that use traditional production methods.
Okay.
And they're certified by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government.
Okay.
As being like high quality and authentic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they call them Oshino, which means like excellent product.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a good way to support local producers.
Yeah, and get like a really unique souvenir.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that.
Yeah, you can find more information about them on the Tokyo Grown website.
Okay, so that's tokyogrown.jp. All right, and for lunch on our shopping day.
How about another onigiri?
Another onigiri, why not?
Yeah, gotta get our onigiri fix.
Delicious, okay.
Yeah.
And then for our final night in Tokyo.
Final night.
Farewell dinner.
Yeah, I think we should either revisit our favorite dish from the week.
Okay.
Or try something completely new.
Yeah, go out with a bang.
Yeah, why not?
Awesome, so that brings us to day 8.
Day 8. Departure.
Yeah. Sad day.
Yeah, time to go home.
But hopefully we've given people a good
starting point.
Yeah, for their own Tokyo adventure.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up,
yeah,
we got to talk about some like essential tips for first-time visitors.
Right, like customs and etiquette.
Yeah, so what are some things people should know?
Well, bowing is very important in Japan.
Okay.
It's like their way of greeting and showing respect.
Okay, so how do you bow properly?
You don't have to go like full-on bowing.
Right.
Like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
Just like a slight bow of the head is fine.
Okay.
Just acknowledge the other person.
Got it.
And then another thing is taking off your shoes when you enter someone's home.
Right.
Or certain businesses.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, they'll usually have like a little step.
Yeah.
Where you take off your shoes and put on slivers.
Okay.
And on public transportation.
Yeah.
It's considered rude to talk loudly.
Right.
Or have your music playing too loud.
Yeah, common courtesy.
Yeah, just be mindful of the people around you.
Right.
And then there's also bathing etiquette.
Okay, yeah, like for the public baths.
Yeah, the onsen.
Yeah.
There's a whole set of rules for those.
Okay, so what are some of the basics?
Well, you got to shower before you get in the bath.
Okay.
You can't wear a swimsuit.
Right.
You got to be naked.
Okay.
And you got to keep your hair tied up if you have long hair.
Okay, so it's like all about cleanliness.
Yeah, cleanliness and respect.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth doing some research.
Right. Before you go to an onsen.
Yeah, just to make sure you know the etiquette.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered customs. Now let's talk about getting around.
Getting around, yeah.
Tokyo's famous for its public transportation.
It's amazing.
Right, it's like incredibly efficient.
So efficient.
Yeah.
And they have these things called Suica or Pasmo cards.
Okay.
Which are like rechargeable travel cards.
Okay.
And you can use them on all the trains and buses.
Oh, wow. That's so convenient.
Super convenient.
Yeah.
You just tap your card on the reader.
Okay.
And you're good to go.
Love that.
Yeah. And the trains are very punctual.
Okay.
Like they arrive on time, they leave on time.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Wow. Okay, so public transportation is the way to go.
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, what about things to avoid?
Things to avoid, yeah.
Like, are there any, like, common mistakes that tourists make?
Well, we already talked about, like, being loud on public transportation.
Yeah.
That's definitely a no-no.
Yeah.
And then littering is also very frowned upon.
Okay.
Japan is a very clean country.
Yeah.
So people are very conscious about not littering.
Okay, so just be mindful of your trash.
Yeah. And also tipping.
Okay.
Tipping is not customary in Japan.
Oh, interesting.
So don't feel like you have to tip.
Okay.
In restaurants or for other services.
Got it.
And then also making phone calls in quiet places.
Okay.
Like on trains or in museums.
Right.
Just be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, be respectful.
Yeah.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about money.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, how can people save money in Tokyo?
Well, the biggest thing is using public transportation.
Right.
Instead of taxis.
Okay, so taxis are expensive.
Taxis are very expensive.
Okay.
And then a lot of the attractions are free.
Okay.
Like the parks, the temples, the shrines.
Yeah.
So you can save money on entrance fees.
Right.
And then lunch is usually cheaper than dinner.
Okay, so eat a big lunch.
Yeah, have a big lunch, save money on dinner.
Yeah.
And then convenience store food is actually really good in Japan.
Okay.
And very affordable.
So you could like have lunch at a convenience store.
Yeah, totally.
That's cool.
Like they have onigiri, they have sandwiches, they have salads, they have hot meals.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So that's a good budget tip.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
And then accommodation can be expensive in Tokyo.
Right.
But you can save money by staying in a hostel.
Okay.
Or a budget-friendly hotel.
Right, or like an Airbnb or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
A lot of ground.
Yeah, we talked about itinerary ideas, local customs, transportation, things to avoid, saving money.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've really given people a good overviews
I hope so.
of what to expect in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's all about experiencing it for yourself.
Yeah, you got to go there.
Yeah, and see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Tokyo is such a unique and vibrant city.
It is.
You know, it's this blend of modern and traditional. The
Yeah.
people are so friendly and welcoming.
Yeah, very polite.
Yeah, and the food is just incredible.
Incredible.
But we've just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, barely scratched the surface.
There's so much more to discover.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, what are you most excited to experience in Tokyo?
Yeah. What are you going to eat first?
Yeah, what sights are you going to see?
What neighborhoods are you going to explore?
Yeah, start planning your trip.
Yeah, get out there.
Tokyo's waiting for you.
Have fun.
All right, that's it for this deep dive.
Until next time.
See you later.